Hello, and welcome to Up Close and Personal with Inelia Benz. I'm your host, Helene Lipson. For our listeners not yet acquainted with Inelia, she was born in Chile and entered this world directly from source energy without any karmic debt, and she came into this life with a sense of knowingness on a pure mission. Her soul's purpose is to raise the vibrational level of the planet to a critical point that will allow a transitioning into the new paradigm, the new level of awareness for everything, for the planet and everything in it, every rock, every insect, every person. And to do that job, Inelia is a spiritual catalyst, awakening those asleep, helping those already aware to reach a higher vibrational level. And she's even traveled to different geographical areas in various ways for the sake of cleansing it so that the vibration can come through properly. Today, on Up Close and Personal with Inelia Benz, we will speak to Inelia about religion and the impact this social institution has had on her life. We'll learn a bit about the religion she came into through her family of origin when she entered this world, and we'll learn about the role that religion plays in her life today. Hello, Inelia.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Wonderful. So today we're talking about religion. Can you tell me about your family of origins religion and what you were taught to believe as a child?
I was pretty ignored as a child, so I wasn't really taught to believe anything as
Oh.
much. But with regards to religion, there was a slight Catholic overtones to the culture that I was in. My parents were both socialists, so they thought that religion was the opium of the masses, which meant there was no church and there was no religious activities in the house or outside the house.
Mm.
But my grandmother once took me to a church. I was interested in. I was staying with her. I think I was about 4 years old, and she was going to mass. And I asked if I could go with her, and I asked her where she was going. She said to church. What's that? She said the house of God, and I thought, oh, that's awesome. I'd like to go there. I want to meet God. So she said, great. And she was extremely happy because she had been told in very strong words that she wasn't to indoctrinate us with religion, right? And so we went to church and we went into this Catholic church. And it was a horrendous experience. I don't know about other Catholic church, but this one had statues of Jesus and saints and all sorts of people around bleeding and being tortured and crying and in suffering. It was really horrendous. And I scanned the church for God to see if he was there or she was there, and it wasn't. So I lasted a few minutes and I looked at my grandmother. I said, Grandmother, they're lying to you. This is not God's home. He's not here, right? And I walked out, right? I literally walked out. I was going to walk home, and I was 4 years old, and I was going to walk home. And she reached me when I was outside the front in the street already outside the church. And she looked at me and grabbed me by both shoulders and she said, what has your father been telling you? And that was the first time I had any interest. I took any interest in my father because I suddenly thought to myself, oh, so my father knows something that's true. Because, she obviously thought it was something that had been told to me, but no, it wasn't. It was pure seeing. Children will see things very clearly. And I saw, and that's what I saw. So, I mean, I'm saying that if you're a Catholic person, there and any other religion, there is truth to the beliefs or the teachings. There are truths in there. But I see religion as tools. No matter if you're in a mainstream religion or a fringe religion or a cult, it doesn't matter. There are truths there, and it's also a tool that whatever level of awareness that you're at the moment, or whatever tools that you need right now as a soul, are there for you to use, right? And it's your choice. But personally speaking, I would say that a religion really is an organization that needs followers. And I would say that that is old paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
There, anything that needs followers or that promises to save others, it's all paradigm, and that's fine. If people want to stay in that paradigm, they can. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not the new paradigm that we're moving into. Or, I mean, if you don't want to move into, that's fine. Because the new paradigm is all about the person being their own authority and their own savior, right? And the new paradigm says the person, like myself, for example, I have a large audience. I don't have followers, right? I have a large audience. What's the difference? A follower follows somebody through everything and doesn't follow anybody else. An audience is very large and can come in and out of the room anytime they want. They can be an audience for multiple different individuals or groups or whatever, and move back and forth or whatever they want to do, right? And have their own say as well. That's the main difference between, I think, for religion and the new paradigm sense of each individual being their own authority. So, yeah, I mean, that was my very early experience of religion. I've had more.
Well, that was very well said, and you make an excellent point. Now, I read a while ago that you had been part of a Buddhist practice in Ireland. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. I was a Buddhist, practicing Buddhist for many, many years. I can't remember how many years, 11 or 14 years or something like that. And I was even a Buddhist group leader, which means that I would have meetings in my house or the house of the other group leader, and people would come and we would chant together and study the teachings together. Now, even then, throughout all of those years, I used to say to people, this is the best tool that I have ever found or experienced or used. If I ever find one that's better, I'm going to use that one and leave this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, in a way, it was not accepted by many because they would have that religious type of authority of saying this is the only way. And I would always argue, even with other Buddhist leaders, when they used to say, but this is the only way to reach enlightenment, and everything else is false. I would say, I don't think so. This is the best way I've found so far, but there might be something else out there, And I found better things and I moved on. But there will be also the original Buddhist teachings were very adamant to say that Buddhism or those practices were not a religion, right? And that the person should always listen to their higher self and not even accept what the Buddhist teacher was saying or the Buddha was saying, but really listen to their own higher self and see if that was true or not. Because words and teachings, they become corrupted through time. So, yeah, it was interesting. And definitely, if somebody's looking for a religious practice to follow, I would suggest Buddhism for sure.
Well, there's still parts of the Buddhist religion that are infused with what you do?
Um, it was no. Well, the problem is that when you organize people and they form the religion, eventually it becomes corrupted. I have not seen it, right? It's like double negative there, but I haven't seen a situation where a group of individuals who organize themselves around the teaching hasn't become corrupted. I haven't seen that yet. And it happened with that particular religion that I saw as well. So the teachings, a lot of the teachings I would say are very out there, but there's also lots of other belief systems that people send me links to all the time and saying, these people are saying exactly what you're saying and whatever, And I haven't had time to read them, so I can't say. But what I'm saying is nothing new, right? I'm not saying anything new. Everything's out there already. All this information has been out there for thousands of years. I'm just saying it in a different way, and I'm putting it out there in a way that I feel is easy to reach and for people to understand, and without any attachment to any type of group, religion, or authority. So yeah, that would be what I would say. Yeah, there's truths that resonate within me in every single religion and cult on the planet. Everyone.
Well, religion can be a huge form of control where people are looking for hope and they're looking for a source of strength. They're actually losing their strength when they're following a religion blindly. Now, in your life, has anybody been close to you that has been almost oppressed by their own religious beliefs? Have you experienced that?
Well, yes. However, I don't judge it. I don't think it's a bad thing, right? They don't see it as being oppressed. They see it as comforting and liberating. And that's what their higher self is asking them to do. Now, they know everybody, not everybody, but most people in my immediate environment, family and relatives and friends, know what I'm doing now because I've gone public. And they have access to the information that I'm giving, and they may either accept it, criticize it, or whatever, and that's fine, you know. And their own personal religion can be a source of extreme strength and comfort because of the place where they're at, and for them it is true. And who am I to say that that's not true or useful? So yeah, there's no judgment. I can see that if they did things differently, they might have a different type of life. Yeah, but maybe that's not the life they're supposed to be having. So yeah, I don't really see it as such. It's like I don't really judge it as one would think of as oppressive or disempowering. I feel that it is, but I don't judge it as something bad.
Inelia, on a closing note, is there anything that you'd like to share with our listeners about religion or organized religion?
Yes, absolutely. If you're in a religion right now, and have a look and sense it with your own authority, with your own higher self, to make sure that it's supporting you and making you self-sufficient, making you able to stand on your own 2 feet, and also to move forth in life in a very empowered way. Is it empowering you? If there's any kind of red flags or any type of areas that you're not feeling very comfortable with, process that, have a look at it, explore it, ask questions, and see where it leads you. It will strengthen, it might strengthen your commitment and your belief system in this religion, or it might throw you out. But either way, it's going to help you tremendously to do this.
Very interesting. Inelia, what do you see as the future for religion in general as we are all shifting, as everybody is expanding their awareness to look within? What do you see for the future of religion itself?
I think that religion basically is going to morph. The established religions will probably disintegrate and die off. But the grouping of belief systems or the people worshiping together or meditating together will morph into a very empowered, self-governing and collective collaboration rather than a hive mentality where one leader at the top of the triangle will tell everybody else what to do. It's going to be more like a circle where everybody is equal and everybody is their own authority, and people can move in and out of different circles to practice different things. And I think that's the organic way in which we're going to develop to reach that spiritual heightened awareness in a group setting rather than at a singular setting.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much, Inelia. Fascinating show. To our listeners, to all our friends out there, this is Helene Lipson, your host, sending love, light, and blessings to all. Namaste.